this lecture, we are going to learn about the measures of spread in statistical language. To calculate the measures of spread, also known as measures of dispersion on employee data in Python, you can use the pandas library. Measures like range, variance, and standard deviation are commonly used to assess the variability of numerical variables in a dataset. Now, variance is a statistical measure that quantifies the spread or dispersion of a dataset. It provides a measure of how much the values in a dataset differ from the mean. In other words, variance indicates the average squared deviation of each data point from the mean. Standard deviation is a statistical measure that quantifies the amount of dispersion or spread of a dataset. It is the square root of the variance. The standard deviation provides a measure of how much the values in a dataset deviate from the mean. Let us use the same employee dataset and the same monthly income column to demonstrate the measures of spread in statistics. The first line calculates the range of salaries in the monthly income column. It does so by finding the maximum value, that is max, and the minimum value, that is min, of the monthly income column and subtracting the minimum from the maximum. The second line calculates the variance of salaries in the monthly income column. Variance measures the spread or dispersion of data points around the mean. The .var method computes the variance of the values in the column. The third line calculates the standard deviation of salaries in the monthly income column. Standard deviation is another measure of spread and represents the average amount by which data points deviate from the mean. The .std method computes the standard deviation of the values in the column. Overall, the code calculates and displays the range, variance, and standard deviation of the monthly income values stored in the monthly income column. Now, these measures provide insights into the spread or variability of salaries within the dataset. If you look at the output, the salary range 18,990. The salary variance is 22164857 and the salary standard deviation is 4707. Now let us try to understand what these values mean. Salary range. The salary range is the difference between the highest and the lowest salaries in the dataset. In this case, the range is 18990, indicating that the salaries in the dataset vary from the lowest value to the highest value by this particular amount. Salary variance measures the spread of dispersion of the salaries around the mean or average. A larger variance suggests that the salaries in the dataset are more spread out from the mean. In this case, the variance is 22164857. Since the value is quite large, it indicates that the salaries in the dataset have considerable variability or differences from the average. Salary standard deviation. The standard deviation is another measure of spread or dispersion of the salaries. It indicates the average amount by which the salaries deviate from the mean. A higher standard deviation indicates greater variability in the dataset. In this case, the standard deviation is 4707. This means that, on average, the salaries in the dataset deviate from the mean by approximately 4707 units. And with this, we come to the end of our lecture where we learned about the measures of spread.